Welcome back to my channel, where we talk about all things branding, social media, and entrepreneurship. If you're wondering how to stand out on social media and build a brand that prints you money, you found the right channel for you.
What is up, y'all? Welcome to my channel. I'm so excited because this is the very first episode on my YouTube channel and I want to make it a good one. Some of you may know me as Sam the Branding Coach, and I'm out here trying to help other entrepreneurs, founders, creatives really establish themselves on social media as the obvious choice in their industry. One of the things that I absolutely love helping people do is strategize their messaging and really understand how to create a content strategy that is effective for them and their brand. If you're new here and you don't really know who I am, then let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm a branding coach, but I also have a TV show on Expand TV. It's linked in the description called Spill the Brand. If you want to go through all the practical things that I usually do through with clients, definitely go tune into those episodes. We're on episode 8 already, which is crazy, and there's lots to learn from that series. But here is definitely where we're going to be talking a little bit more about the emotional side of being an entrepreneur, as well as just all of the practical information that you take away from building and growing a brand, especially on social media. One of the biggest things that I see consistently from entrepreneurs and honestly even creators has been burnout from content and burnout from understanding exactly where to start. And so those are some of the things that I really want to address on this channel. And the more that I do YouTube, the better that I will get. Forgive me, as this episode is definitely just going to be talking head, giving some examples and going through definitely a very interesting topic today. A big misconception lately that I'm hearing is that in order to build a brand effectively, you have to have a nice Instagram grid, which is kind of crazy to think about, but no, you don't have to have a nice Instagram grid in order to have a good brand. Building a brand is all about community and really drawing people in to you, because that at the end of the day is your personal brand. But I feel like the personal branding is definitely kind of a buzzword lately. Don't y'all think? Just because you hear personal brand and then you hear branding all the time, and it definitely is more of a topic now than it was 2-3 years ago. Which is why today I chose the topic to go into the difference between building a personal brand and having a business brand, because they're two different things, but I believe that you can marry them. Honestly, your brand isn't just you. It's about the promises that you keep to yourself as well as your audience. The more trust that you can build with the people that are in your network, in your community, that are following you, honestly, the better. Let me share a little bit of my background to kind of give you guys some insight on like how I can talk about this. I've been in branding and marketing for the past 9 years now. Beforehand, I worked for a venture capitalist firm, I worked for a small boutique marketing firms, and then as well as wealth management, kind of all over the spectrum, but definitely in different industries that have served me to this point. When I started my business, I was still actually in grad school. I thought of this idea and really noticed that there was a gap in the market between how people understood their messaging and how they were coming across versus how they were also coming across on social media. But honestly, my business wasn't always that. Originally, I started out looking at websites and how people can effectively display their message through websites and branding. I'm very much a technical person, but much more of a creative person. And so that's why I went into coaching, because helping people build brands that are really lasting as well as trustworthy is definitely my bread and butter. It is all about messaging. It is all about how you are influenced in the brand and ingrained in it. Knowing that that journey kind of started from just building my own brand and now I get to help people do the same is definitely inspiring. In October of 2023, I went to a conference in Dallas, and actually I met a plethora of my friends at this conference. It was called Build Your Brand Live. I got to meet so many amazing people, but this event definitely set a lot of things off for me. When I was networking and meeting people, I had my private account. I also had my public account, which was my business name, Polaris Creative. When I shared my Instagram, it ended up being, oh, why is your page private? We need to see more of your face. Polaris Creatives didn't have any sort of face content. It was all faceless. It was like, oh, okay. Like, I really thought that I could build a brand on social media without showing my face and that I could just be the business. Yeah, I was wrong. I got so much feedback of people wanting to actually hear my voice, wanting to actually know more about me. I was missing the opportunity by posting faceless content. You can actually scroll back to before even October of 2023, like when I first started my page. Sam the Branding Coach is my main page, and so beforehand I had it as Polaris Creatives. One of the things that I really thought about, man, how do I stand out from the crowd here? Everyone's doing content and I'm just trying to put my face on camera. It wasn't even about the action of filming content, but it was the idea of I have to show up on camera, I have to show my face, I have to be seen. That event really changed my life just because of all of the feedback that I got from people. I really took it to heart, and I went home, I went on an Instagram live, and I absolutely changed changed my content from no face to including my face all the time. Don't get me wrong, that was hard. A lot of the people in my life, especially one in particular, was like, Sam, this doesn't even look like you. I was like, I know, I get it. It will one day. And you're starting out growing content, and honestly, even this for me, sometimes you just don't feel like you sound like yourself because you're really trying to find your voice. And for me, this is a YouTube channel, a YouTube video, and so I'm really trying to find my footing. It's the same thing that happened when I was thinking about, oh, I actually really want to build a brand and I actually really want people to get to know me, but I had to deal with my overall fear of being seen and the art of procrastination, entirely not wanting to be on camera and be active on social media because it felt too influencery. So when I started helping people kind of understanding their personal brand more and building brands for businesses, that's when the entirety of my business changed and I started positioning myself to being more of a branding coach, really talking about messaging, positioning, brand clarity, social media strategy. So that's where I really got into it. Long story long, we're back to the point of what is the difference between a personal brand and a business brand. Building a personal brand is basically how people feel when they see you. Are they binging your content? Are they curious as to what you're doing as a day in your life? Or is it just the vibe that you overall have with your content, with your message, with your offer that they absolutely love? I recently saw another creator talk about was the rise of the creator entrepreneurs, which I 100% think is true. More creators and people who are going viral on TikTok are actually taking advantage of the fact that they have such a big audience, so why wouldn't they use it to leverage and market to a whole new set of people, a product, a service, or building a brand of some sort, like a coffee shop or a cookie brand or something like that. Overall, the personal brand aspect is what makes people trust them, like the Alex Earls, the Monet McMichaels, the Jalen Nobles of the influencer sphere. Those types of people, they have built a brand on credibility. You follow them for their personal brand, and then anything that they happen to sell to you along the way is because you know that they are trustworthy and you would trust them with any product that they would put in front of you. Personal brand is really about how you make someone feel. Do they trust you? Are they buying something from you, or will they, because you know how loyal they are to you? A business brand is like your systems, your process, your offer, the overall information that you have about your business. It's what people rely on when they pay you. System, the process, outcome of working with you will get them to X and Y destination. There's proof in the pudding type thing. Business brand is all surrounding the business, and it doesn't necessarily require a face to a brand, but it almost does better when it does. For example, when we think about a personal brand going into a business brand, we have Emma Chamberlain. She is a great content creator, and she really started off creating content that was fun. And then you think about Chamberlain Coffee. That is the business brand. Having a personal brand definitely carried the weight into having the business brand, but now people can literally just go follow her Chamberlain Coffee brand and talk about the coffee itself without it necessarily needing Emma Chamberlain, but having her helped the brand. So you can think about business brand being associated with a personal brand or not. It just entirely depends on the model and what kind of business you're operating or starting to run. So that's just one example. Another example of personal brand versus business brand, Hailey Bieber and Rose. There's different roles that a personal brand plays in versus a business brand. I myself am different as Sam the branding coach versus my TV show Spill the Brand or my business brand Polaris Creatives. They're independent of each other, but they're also married. Hopefully I explained business brand because it's the service, it's the offering, it's the outcome, it's what people are coming to pay you for. If we can really think about the examples that I just give with Emma Chamberlain, with Hailey Bieber, they basically married the idea of having a personal brand and building a business brand. I love helping marrying that idea. Branding brings the retention and the trust. And so when you end up making a very good brand, it's almost that your personal brand is so strong that you can build anything and people will buy from. And I think that's what everybody wants. It's like having a cult-like following. Example being Taylor Swift. Swifties are very loyal. They love her music. You want to build the same thing when it comes to business. Truthfully, I think that this day and age that we're in right now, I think that everybody needs a personal brand to do really anything. If you want to become a best-selling author, you need a personal brand. If you want to become a podcaster, you need a personal brand. Having a personal brand really is the leverage that you need in order to scale. And in order to become all of the things like a successful author or a successful podcaster, it is required now. And if you're a coach or an entrepreneur or honestly even a creator, you have definitely seen that the influencer bubble has popped. People no longer want to see things that look super polished and unrealistic. Most of the time people can't relate to it. Naturally, as humans, we want to relate to things. We want to be able to like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's exactly how I feel. I want to be seen, heard, and appreciated. And so if you can take anything away from what it means to build a brand, it means that you're standing on your belief system. You're letting people trust you based off of just stating your opinion, showing a process, just giving value off of a service, whatever it is, you're showing them how you can be trustworthy. I think about Jeffree Star, and having something being Jeffree Star approved carries weight to a huge amount of people versus not. Let's go back to the question. Sorry, I got carried away there. What would be better to have for you? I think having a personal brand and then building it into a business brand is the best way to go. Personal brand allows you to leverage who you are, what you do, and the things that you enjoy in order to make emotional human connection. And then the business brand is almost like the branch of yourself to where you can post just business content, and it doesn't have to be related to a day in the life as an entrepreneur. It can be about all the nitty gritty things in the business because it's a business page. As the example, Chamberlain Coffee looks a lot different than Emma Chamberlain's page. The brands are two different things, but they coexist together. To be a successful entrepreneur, you definitely need to take the time to create content, to define your messaging, know who you're talking to, relay how you're going to help people in a specific way so that you create an audience so strong that the communities, the people, the following that you have is so strong that anything that you build, they come with. I did all of this wrong at first. I just kind of want to help y'all build a brand effectively, especially when it comes to social media. So if I can help you avoid all of the mistakes that I made when I was starting out my business and posting on social media, then I would love to do so. If somebody stumbled upon your brand today, what would they expect from you in 6 months? Whether you're a creator or an entrepreneur, who are you trying to help? How are you going to help them? And what makes you different are really the main questions that you should be answering when it comes to building an effective brand. If you can't answer those questions to start, then neither a personal brand or a business brand is going to last long term. Now, I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, so definitely give me time, give me grace. I'm working on how I can show up better for y'all. So if y'all have any comments about the things that you're curious on what's going on in social media, overall in branding, definitely let me know. I would love to be here for you. This is definitely the first stop you take in order to build a better brand and become the obvious choice. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Things are definitely going to be growing. I'm going to be posting on here about every week or so, but wanted to really just introduce myself and get things going. I promise y'all I will get better at this, and the edits, the overall attraction of a YouTube video will definitely be there, but I'd rather it be done than it be perfect because it's all about a learning process. I can't wait to start this whole YouTube channel, and let me know if you guys want to hear anything about branding, marketing, social media, or honestly just tea. I will see you guys on the next video. Stay tuned for more.